A lot of people want remote work because they think it fixes everything. But the truth is, most of these jobs end up feeling exactly like the same 9-to-5 you're trying to get away from, just from your couch instead. What's going on, everybody? It's Erica again from The In-Between, and before I get into my list today, I want to talk to you guys the same way I wish someone talked to me when I first started looking for remote work. Because the truth is, a lot of these online jobs sound amazing until you're actually doing them. Then you realize you're still stuck in the same loop, same routine, same pressure, same limited income, and now you're basically isolated on top of it. So today, I want to walk you guys through 10 real remote jobs people are still doing right now in 2025, and break down how they actually feel once you're in them. Some of these jobs really do help, some pay okay, but one of them, the one I personally run, is the only model that ever gave me real online financial freedom, real flexibility, and real space to breathe. So if you want to see exactly how that model works, I'll go ahead and leave the link down below so you guys can check it out whenever you're ready. With that being said, let's jump right in. So coming in at number 10 is form processing. Now, form processing is one of the first jobs people try because it looks so simple. Basically, a company sends you digital forms, maybe insurance claims or customer paperwork, and your job is to make sure that everything is filled out correctly. It's quiet, nobody is calling you, nobody's watching over you, and all you have to do is work whenever you have time. But the reason it's at the bottom of my list, guys, is because it really doesn't go anywhere. The pay usually sits somewhere in between that $10 to $16 an hour range, and there's no ladder, which means you'll be doing the same repetitive checking and clicking 5 months in or even 5 years in. So if you're looking for something light and predictable, it's definitely fine. But if you're hoping to build real financial freedom online, it's really not going to take you there. Next up is content moderation, and this one may sound pretty low-key because you're just reviewing posts and comments and keeping platforms sane. But the part people don't talk about is just how heavy some of the content can be and how it wears on you after a while when you're just making $12 to $20 an hour. It gets hard to justify the emotional load that comes with it. It can be stable, but it's also one of those jobs where you wake up one day and realize it's taking way more from you than it's giving back. Number 8 is transcription and caption editing, and this one always sounds tempting because you're typing basically in your pajamas all day, but once you actually start doing it, you realize only half the audio files are clean and the rest are full of background noise or people talking over each other. So a lot of the times you just end up spending up to an hour on just 6 minutes of audio, and the pay doesn't really reflect the time you put in. It's flexible, and I think that's why some people stick with it for a while, but the ceiling is low and it's definitely not something you can scale into anything meaningful. Now, coming in at number 7, we've got VA work, and it's basically office admin work, but from your couch, which means things like emails and scheduling and any random tasks that businesses don't want to deal with. And the demand is high because more and more companies are outsourcing these days, so there's always work. But with that being said, because there are so many VAs out there, beginner pay tends to stay around $10 to $18 an hour, and unless you specialize in something like bookkeeping or email marketing where the pay jumps, it kind of just stays in that same lane. Number 6 is overnight phone answering, and if you've ever called a doctor or contractor after hours, then you've probably talked to someone doing this job at home. It's structured, it's predictable, and you follow mostly a script. But with that being said, the job does require total quiet, and the shifts start to feel extremely long when the phone barely rings. Beyond that, the pay sits somewhere at around $12 to $17 an hour, so it can be steady, but it doesn't really get you anywhere. Now at number 5, we finally get to something a little more interesting, which is freelance writing. And this one's blowing up online because brands constantly need content and they're tired of AI writing that sounds like a robot. So if you can write clearly, you can make real money. But with that being said, freelancing is still time for money work, and you need dozens of samples and clients and deadlines. And the second you stop working, the money stops too. So it can be a solid gig with potential, but it's definitely not passive or stable in the long term unless you're okay constantly juggling clients. Now at number 4 is social media management, or UGC, and this one pays well and small businesses really need help, so you can really make anywhere from a few hundred up to a couple $1,000s per client per month. But the internet never shuts off and the algorithm changes constantly, and clients always want results every day, so the work can be fun, but it's also nonstop, and it's not the calm remote lifestyle most people imagine it to be. Number 3 is web design, and in my opinion, guys, this is still one of the strongest remote skills because almost almost every small business has a website that needs updating, and using tools like Wix or WordPress, you can build a clean site and charge anywhere from a few hundred up to a few $1,000s a month, just depending on the project. But with that being said, revisions can drain you because clients will ask for changes that don't even make sense, and a 2-day project suddenly becomes a 2-week one, and that's why most people end up burning out. Not because the workload is hard, but because the expectations themselves can be messy. Now at number 2 is going to be local SEO, and this one is where you help small businesses show up to the top of Google anytime someone searches something like roof repair near me or plumber in Dallas. And anytime you rank businesses with keywords, it actually changes their revenue. So they're willing to pay you every single month to keep them visible online. If you guys have been following me for a while now, you'll know that it's one of the few remote jobs where income becomes recurring instead of one and done. But with that being said, it still requires regular updates and work. So even though it can be stable, it's not really fully hands-off. And finally, coming in at number 1, we have digital leasing, the model I personally run, and nothing else on this list even comes remotely close to the kind of freedom it provides. Here's how it works in the real world. You build a simple website around one service in one city. Think of anything from fence repair to tree removal, towing, stucco, roofing, basically anything people search for every single month in their city. You get your site ranking to the very top of Google, it starts getting calls and form submissions, and instead of selling the site once, you basically rent out all of those leads to a local business in that area for monthly recurring income. So in a lot of ways, it's basically like digital real estate. The website is your property, the traffic is your foot traffic, and all of the leads are the rent. For example, as you can see here, guys, I have 2 sites in Colorado Springs, like my fencing repair site and my stucco site, 2 completely different niches, same exact structure. They both generate leads every single month, and those leads get rented out without me showing my face or managing clients all day. Once they rank, they run quietly in the background, and that's why this model blew everything else out of the water for me, because it gives you complete ownership, recurring income, location freedom, and it doesn't require you to talk to anybody or show up online. So if you want to learn more about the digital leasing model, go ahead and click on the link below for a free training that goes over the whole business model in complete detail. As always, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.